At the beginning of the film, we see a meteorite crashing into a mountainous forest area. The scene then cuts to a deer inside the forest, whose antler is badly injured. The deer is still in shock, trying to understand what just happened to it, when suddenly we see a tentacle moving toward it from behind. That tentacle has many smaller tentacles on it, which attack the deer and kill it. At this point, it is revealed that whatever came down with the meteorite was actually some kind of alien creature. The scene then cuts to a couple, Ruth and Harry, who are heading toward the same mountain forest. On the way, they stop for lunch and notice that the young waiter serving them seems very nervous. He asks them if they also saw the meteorite falling from the sky. The couple laughs it off because it doesn't sound believable. Meteorites don't just fall like that, right? They continue their journey, walking through the forest. Several times, Ruth feels like someone is following her. She turns around multiple times, but there's no one there. Still, she can't shake the feeling that something is watching her. As they keep walking, evening sets in. They prepare dinner again, set up their tents, and go to sleep. In the middle of the night, Ruth suddenly wakes up because of a strange noise. She steps outside to check, and in the forest, at the edge, a deer was standing there, staring directly at her. This deer was also missing one antler. It was the same deer we saw at the beginning of the movie. The way it was looking at Ruth was so strange that it made her uncomfortable. Suddenly, someone placed a hand on her shoulder from behind. She got terrified, but it was just Harry. Seeing him, she calmed down a little. When she turned back to tell him about the deer, it was gone. Or rather, it had completely vanished. A shaken Ruth tried to explain everything, that she woke up because of a strange noise, saw a one-antlered deer staring at her, and now it had disappeared. But Harry didn't believe a word she said. He simply took her back to the tent and told her to go to sleep. Soon, morning arrived. They continued their journey, and Harry took Ruth to a special spot in the forest. It was a beautiful place by the ocean. There, Harry proposed to her. Ruth should have been happy, but instead, she started having a panic attack. She couldn't control herself. Everything around her began spinning. Harry supported her while she took her pills to calm down. The situation between them became very awkward. They returned to the forest and set up camp again. Harry decided that they would leave the next morning. For a long time, both of them stayed silent. Then suddenly Ruth asked, "Why did you do that, Harry? Why did you feel the need to propose to me?" Hearing this, Harry got angry. They had been together for 8 years. She should have been happy, but instead she was upset. Things escalated to the point where Harry walked into his tent to end the argument, leaving Ruth sitting outside. Once again, she felt like someone was watching her. Eventually, she ignored the feeling and went to sleep. The next morning, when she woke up, Harry wasn't there. He had left a note saying he went for a walk and would be back soon. With him gone, Ruth tried to call her doctor, but there was no signal. While searching for a signal, she reached a place where she found that same deer, now dead. Something about it was deeply disturbing. Its body was covered in a black liquid, and its mouth was split open as if it had been cut in two with a knife. Seeing this, Ruth panicked and started having another panic attack. Just then, Harry returned and helped calm her down. Ruth insisted that this was the same deer that had been staring at her, but Harry reassured her, saying it wasn't possible. There are many deer in the forest, and judging by the condition of the body, it looked like it had been dead for months, likely due to some disease, which explained the black liquid. Back at their camp, they started looking through a book about the forest for more information. Harry convinced her that the deer must have died from an illness and assured her there was no danger. He told her that he wouldn't let anything happen to her. Later, Harry began preparing food while Ruth went out for a walk. During her walk, she came across a cave. As soon as she reached the entrance, she felt something strange, almost as if the cave was pulling her inside. She went in and noticed a glowing blue liquid inside. Just as Ruth was about to touch it, someone suddenly goes there, but we are not shown what it is. However, the moment Ruth sees it, she lets out a loud, terrifying scream, and the scene cuts. On the other side, we see Harry, who has been waiting for Ruth for a long time. When hours pass and she still doesn't return, he goes out to search for her in the forest and eventually finds her. But now her behavior has become very strange. Harry doesn't fully notice it and simply tells her to follow him. Ruth obeys him like a robot with no expression on her face. In the middle of the night, Harry wakes up again and sees that Ruth is not there. He gets worried and goes outside with a light to look for her. Suddenly, Ruth appears right behind him. She's holding Harry's knife. This startles him, and he asks what she's doing with it. Ruth replies that she heard animal sounds in the forest and thought something might attack them, so she took the knife to defend herself. Harry looks around, but there's no animal. He takes the knife from her and brings her back into the camp. Harry falls asleep, but we see that Ruth doesn't blink the entire night. Morning comes. Harry starts making food again, while Ruth sits silently on a chair. He tries multiple times to talk to her, but she says nothing. Eventually, even Harry goes quiet. After a long silence, Ruth suddenly speaks and says, "I'm sorry. What I did yesterday was wrong. I should have accepted your proposal. Let's go back to that same place. Propose to me again." Hearing this, Harry becomes happy. He takes her back to the same beautiful spot by the cliff and proposes again. But the moment Ruth puts on the ring, she does something horrifying. She pushes Harry off the cliff. He falls down, not into the water, but onto a rock below in such a way that it looks like he's dead. After this, Ruth starts running away. While running, she suddenly falls. She then sees another couple in the forest who had come there for camping. They notice Ruth and ask what happened to her and why she's running like that. Ruth says she doesn't remember anything. The couple feels that Ruth is in trouble. They decide to inform the police, but there's no signal in the forest. So they take her with them, planning to leave for the city the next morning. They repeatedly try to ask Ruth what happened, why she's so quiet, why she isn't speaking, but Ruth remains completely silent. Suddenly, Ruth pulls out a knife. The couple gets scared, thinking she might attack them, but instead, Ruth points ahead. When they look, they see Harry walking toward them as if nothing had happened. Not only is he alive, but there isn't even a scratch on his body. As soon as Ruth sees him, she panics and runs away. The man who was helping her tries to stop Harry, but Harry suddenly pulls out a blade from his finger, cuts the man's hand, and then brutally attacks him. The man's wife, terrified, runs after Ruth, while Harry calmly follows them. He is about to kill the woman next. Ruth realizes that she might still be able to save her. Ruth does come out to try and save her, but Harry doesn't listen to a single word. Instead, he uses the blade in his hand to slice the woman's mouth open and then kills her. After that, he points the same blade at Ruth and asks, "How did you find out the truth about me?" And here, a major twist is revealed. This Harry, standing in front of Ruth, is no longer human. He's actually an alien. Ruth then explains everything, both to the alien and to us. She says that when she went out for a walk, she found a cave with a glowing blue liquid inside. In that same cave, she saw Harry's dead body, and it was in the exact same condition as the deer from earlier. That's when she realized the truth. This wasn't Harry, it was some other entity. First, it had taken the form of the deer to observe her, and then it killed Harry and took his form. The alien, in fact, can take the shape of any living being, along with their memories and emotions. While the alien is distracted, lost in thought, Ruth runs away. She's completely shaken and doesn't know what to do. Her panic attacks return, and she takes pills to calm herself down. At this point, we also understand her earlier behavior, why she became expressionless after returning from the cave, why she stayed awake all night, and why she had taken the knife. She had actually intended to kill Harry, but she couldn't bring herself to do it at that moment. That's why the next morning, she made a plan. She took him to the cliff under the pretense of accepting his proposal and pushed him off. If he were human, he would have died, but he wasn't. He was an alien, and he came back. Now, we also learn the alien side of the story. These aliens travel from planet to planet. When they find one suitable for their species, they call others of their kind and colonize it. This alien had come to Earth for the same purpose, to check if it was safe for his kind. After arriving, he began taking the forms of Earth's organisms to study them. But there was one thing he experienced here for the very first time: love. After absorbing Harry's memories and emotions, he also inherited his feelings, including his love for Ruth. That's why he couldn't kill her. Ruth tries to defend herself and attacks him multiple times, but the alien doesn't harm her. He keeps healing himself again and again. All he wants is for Ruth to respond to him with love, so he can experience this emotion more deeply. He then tries to manipulate her with gentle words and takes her away, showing her his alien ship. He tells her to come with him, that soon more aliens like him will arrive, kill all humans, and take over the planet. But he doesn't want Ruth to die, so he wants her to come with him to his world. By now, Ruth is completely fed up. She's no longer listening to him. Her attention is focused on the water nearby, where there's a shark swimming. A plan forms in her mind. Suddenly, she stabs the alien and runs toward the water. As the alien bleeds, the scent of blood spreads, and the shark immediately attacks him. Taking advantage of the moment, Ruth runs back toward the forest. She believes she has finally escaped. After running a long distance, she reaches near her camp, sits down, and tries to catch her breath. She eats a little food and takes a pill to control her panic attacks. Meanwhile, we see that the alien is still not dead. In fact, it has killed the shark and begins healing its torn body, pulling itself back together before heading after Ruth again. It is completely obsessed with her, determined to have her at any cost. But it doesn't understand that you can't win someone by killing them. It then comes up with a new idea. Instead of staying in Harry's body, it will take over Ruth's body. So it captures Ruth and traps her inside a cocoon-like structure. It tries to kill her, take her form, and absorb her memories and emotions. We see that Ruth isn't fully dead yet, and the alien has now transformed completely into her. At this moment, Ruth is having intense intense panic attacks, and the alien begins to experience those same overwhelming feelings. It becomes extremely distressed and unstable. But now Ruth has run out of pills, and the alien can't take them either. The anxiety drives it almost insane. Seeing this, Ruth starts laughing and says, "Now it's your turn." As the alien weakens, Ruth grabs a stone and brutally smashes its head and face over and over again. Then she immediately runs away from the forest. She gets into her car and manages to escape. But behind her, we see that the alien heals itself once again, this time fully in Ruth form. It starts talking to her through the car radio. Ruth becomes even more terrified, realizing that these aliens are not going to leave her alone. In the post-credits scene, we see multiple alien ships crashing into that same mountain forest. Just as the alien had said, its entire colony has now arrived, and soon they will wipe out humanity and take over Earth. And with this horrifying ending, the movie comes to a close.